Good evening. He thinks public education is a satanic plot, that the Pope and Donald Trump are both antichrists, that concerns over the measles, that's nothing but government propaganda.
And get this, House Speaker Glenn Cassada is using your money to pay him $53,000 a year to help influence state policy. The Capitol Hill controversy has put the focus on the men surrounding the embattled House Speaker. Three of them, Kate Cothran, Michael Lotfy, and Sean Hatmaker, have already resigned. And now there are questions about a fourth. Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams, has exclusive details. Phil.
Well, the staff member in this case, Scott Allen Buss, has been around the legislature for about 5 years working for Republican lawmakers. But this year, Glenn Cassada promoted him to research analyst, giving him the ability to help shape public policy affecting all Tennesseans.
Without objection.
During this year's legislative session, education was a top issue in the state house, as Speaker Glenn Cassada rammed through a bill to create school vouchers in the state's two largest counties.
What is the foundation of state-run public schools in America? Genesis 3 tells us.
And this video shows one of the men Cassada put on his research staff. Scott Allen Buss gets paid $53,000 a year. He also publishes a blog called Fire Breathing Christian and operates a Twitter account where public education is a frequent target. Christians, he argues, should not teach in public schools, saying when they do, they are modeling a satanic approach to the pursuit of knowledge. Public school parents are exposing their kids to evil and, quote, feeding them to the big gay beast, claiming there is a homo jihad to educate the infidels.
So I think the fact that they would hire someone like this who openly is calling the public schools Satanist is extraordinarily disappointing, but unfortunately not surprising.
We showed Buss's post to House Democratic leader Mike Stewart, post portraying the kids who survived the Parkland school shooting as government-programmed drones, post during the Kavanaugh hearing claiming leftist women are encouraged to rape reputations with impunity, anti-Catholic posts, even a post claiming the Pope and Donald Trump are both antichrists. Another claiming health officials' concerns over measles showed they're living in pansy land. In one blog post, he says measles concerns are just insane, hysterical, anti-family, pro-state propaganda.
Cassada obviously led the fight to attack public schools with vouchers. He was very open about it, and I do think he represents a particular type of Republican radicalism, and he hired people that shared those views.
Buss has also self-published several books, including one that declares there is no God-given right to worship false gods, questioning why do we allow the open practice of Islam in America? A Mosque Over America essay asks, will we live by the First Commandment or die by the First Amendment? Christians, he says, need to be challenged to test all things, including their most cherished notions of freedom, liberty, and patriotism. In addition to his state job, Buss also says he's the Tennessee State Director for Capitol Ministries, a national group that reaches out to lawmakers through prayer groups.
Question here is, was this also a no-show job? Did this guy show up at his office but spend all his time putting out radical far-right propaganda?
In fact, check out Buss's Twitter account and you'll find several controversial posts published on work days during state office hours.
I think what I'd like to know is, do the tweets reflect somebody who really was not hired to do work for the people of Tennessee, was really hired, like we saw with some other people, to be political operatives on the state dime? If that's the case, that's illegal and it needs to be investigated and prosecuted.
Now, late today, I got an email from Mr. Buss where he insisted, quote, the Bible study is done on my own time, as are various public expressions of my Christian worldview. Still, he did not explain why it appears that some of his material was posted on state time. And in the last hour, the Speaker's office also responded saying, quote, these types of matters warrant further review. They added, our goal in the Tennessee House of Representatives is to create a safe, welcoming environment for all. Of course, we'll keep watching.